Hi everybody, my name is Nick Hayes, known as The Last DJ. In this video I'm going to show you how I create music, what I do for inspiration, my approach to techno, and how I just enjoy myself playing the Syntakt, but some of it's actually transferable about my approach to using it on other machines or with the doors, etc. Big thank you to Music Radar for allowing this video on the platform, and I'm going to start off with some one tip and trick to get things going really. One thing before I just jump on this machine is to say to you, if you're going to create music, listen to as much music as you can. Now that might be harder than you think, but it's not hard at all. Because what you can do is you can listen to internet radio. I go to the gym, I go for walks, I put on internet radio, it's 24 hours a day, it's completely free. You don't always know who's actually playing the music, but it creates an input, and with that input you get a great output. So before I actually start any music, I listen to quite a lot of techno music to give me some inspiration. But the real key behind inspiration, I believe, is just getting stuck in. And I'll show you on the Syntakt exactly what I do for inspiration. So what I'm going to do here first of all is on the Syntakt, you've got track number 5, which is traditionally a bass sound, so I'll just get a bass on there. Just so you know, I've actually gone at 145 BPM for techno. Now, some people say that techno's 128 to 135. I go with what I like, and I'm not afraid of breaking the rules. The main thing is just to enjoy yourself and get stuck in. So, right, we're on 145 BPM. I'll make sure the volume's not too loud. Let's put the record on. And we have a standard bass. The trick that I do here for inspiration is I just put some reverb on. I also found the other day when I was using reverb that you can go on to the back settings on this with reverb and really get a strong reverb, and that changes the tone slightly. So just another tip there, look at the standard reverb and the backroom reverb. Right, so the trick here is now we've got a sound going, we've got some music going, we're recording absolutely fine. Let's just go into the amp here, and I'm just going to turn up the delay a bit. And now you've got a little bit of rolling bass line, so that's where the inspiration can start. And that sound is just one of the stock sounds on the Syntakt. You don't have to go out and buy it. There's some sounds that come with it that you can change, etc. So, right, so let's just get a little kick on there. You've got kicks on 1 and 9, but I always find the kick on number 1 is a bit gentler, although when you go to trick number 9, it can be quite a banging trick, a banging kick there. So we've now got rolling bass line. What I do at this stage is I actually go straight into the hi-hat and put a hi-hat on, just so I've got some movement going. So we're actually beginning to move and create music. What I like to say here is making music shouldn't be complicated, it should be easy. And I didn't learn all the oscillators on here, all the LFOs on here. I just went through the process of finding out what changed the sound. One of the other tips I'll give you, it's all about the end result of the music. If you go and see a band play, if you go and see a singer and they're on stage, it's about the end result. And if you're worried about learning oscillators and synthesizers, you'll just learn that as your experiment to go on. And the main thing is just to enjoy yourself. You will make mistakes like I did, and some of the sounds won't be so good. I'm sure we'll have some strange sounds coming out of here, but I'm just going to get back onto it now. So what we could actually do now is we could actually go and put a bit of a chord on here. And bear in mind, we've only got one pattern here. I've got 16 patterns here altogether. So I think what we'll do is we'll go on to track number 6, which is actually traditionally the chord. Bit of reverb on there. Now what you can do here is you can change that for another chord. We'll just go into the library, into the stock sounds, and go down to filter and go down to chord. That's quite interesting. I like that. So we've got some sounds going there, some movement going there. Should we put another beefy kick on there? Let's go into track number 9 and ask for the beefy kick. Now that is technically a build-up when you think about it. So in a few minutes we've got some sound here, we've got some music going here, and then what I would do at this stage is I'm only using the first pattern, or you know, when you're creating music as a DJ, the first scene. So I'm just going to copy that over, and then copy it over again if it works. Sometimes it doesn't always work, but we're going to see what happens. Yep, so we've actually got now 4 patterns on there. We've got 4 patterns, of which if you go to the first pattern, go to the purple twigs, and then you could just really knock some of the sounds off. Now that could be the opening start of the track for you. And bear in mind, I've just completely created this in a few minutes. And then for track, and then you can go into pattern number 2. And you're beginning to build your track up. When I've got to 4 patterns, I think I'm almost there, and I can start to build into 16 patterns. Now, why do I stick to 16 patterns? It's because I can actually visually see, and hear as well, the whole song. So I can have 16 different variations, and you can build a full track out of that. Normally my tracks are 7 to 8 minutes, and it's just from variations of 16 patterns. You can also put effects on there to change them slightly as well. So I think what we might do now is we might do another trick that I like to play with now, is go on to the chord itself again. So we're actually on the chord there. Now I'm going to swap that round and put a bass on there. Well, let's just see what happens. So I'm going to go into sound, go over there, filter, go down to bass, and see what happens. Now you can hear a change, can't you? So you really are beginning to form a track there. You could even have that as a build-up. So we're really beginning to, what I say is rock there. Now we've got this sound in the background, we can start to add more sounds to it. We can take sounds away. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go into track number 5, which is this bass. And shall we swap it round from the bass? So let's just go into the sound browser, clear all the filters off, go down there to another bass, see if we can find something that's different. Ooh. Now what you could do with that, you can actually pull it on a different pattern. And so you can have pattern number 5, pattern number 6, pattern number 7. So it's really beginning to take shape. Let's just have a quick look. What else have we got in the patterns? Now it's a lovely bass there. Let's put some reverb on it, please. Can we have some reverb? And it's beginning to get fuller, more saturation and build up. Right, now I'm going to take a bit of a risk here because it can go wrong sometimes to do this, but we're going to go into the LFO now. Put us on the LFO. Now it's already got some adjustments made on the LFO because it became part of that track. But what I want to show you about the trick on the LFO here is that synth sound wave. Now I've taken that off and it's actually made no difference. What else? Let's just take that one off as well. Now what we're going to do now is we're going to go into the LFO and we're going to go into the tune. Now when you go into the tune on the LFO, it creates some pretty crazy sounds, as you can hear. So I'm not meaning to burn your ears, it's just that don't be put off by the tune. What I do here is I change the mode to a single cycle. Ooh. And this is one thing I'm trying to show you, is that when you go into this, you can suddenly get inspired by some different sounds. Right, so what I'm going to do is just turn this down. Look what's happened there. You've got a kick, you've got a bass, and this is your own sound design. You don't need to know what everything does on here. You will just learn through the process. And I just love the fact that there was a patch on there was a sound on there, and we have just, what I effectively say, destroyed it and made it our own. And this is all part of sound design fun. Let's just turn the depth down a bit again and see what happens. But I do like where the depth is now. It's a nice sound, that. Now we're getting into industrial dance territory here by turning that down. But why not? Why not enjoy ourselves? Why not create different sounds? Let's go even further. Can turn the speed down. And then another bass comes in. So you can see, how exciting it is when you make music, when you experiment, when you change things around. It's just great. And when you consider what we've got on here, let's just knock that off. So we've got quite a bit playing there. 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is the inspiration again, and just the fun I get in creating tracks, because you've created something, you've made it your own, and you're having fun. Sorry, I do get carried away. Right, okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to just show you something about pattern design, which is very, very close to my heart, pattern designing, because I've created some songs and some tracks in the 16 patterns, and then I've changed the order of the patterns, and I did a track I think it was last week I did a track. Hopefully I'll be releasing it at some point. Now I'm going to go into a track I've already made. It's called Rave on the Dance Floor. Let me just go into that track and show you where it is. It should be on, hopefully, bank number 1. Yeah, that's it. So I've just swapped a different bank here because you can store up to 8 different tracks on one of the projects here. And I'm going to show you how I initially started this off. I'll show you how I started it off, and then I'll show you what I ended up. So let's just turn this down a bit. So this is how I actually started the track. So I've showed you how the track originally was produced, and what I decided then was that the patterns were in totally the wrong order. And I'm going to show you my workbook. I'm proud of my little work, but hopefully you can see it there. Well, this was actually on the dance floor track, and now I've changed it around, starting at trig number 12 or pattern number 12, then 5, 6, 7, 8, 11. So let's just see what difference it makes swapping the patterns on, because it's almost like a DJ's remix, but I think it sounds better. So what I'm going to do here is just follow my notes. I'm going to go into pattern number 12 here, and I'm going to show you how the track, which is now finished and just needs to be mastered, and how it sounds just for the first few beats altogether. So this is how it starts now. So I just wanted to show you how important it is that when you lay a track down, and this applies to DAWs as well, and software, use all the synthesizers. Lay the track out, get up to the first 6 or 7 patterns or scenes, and then rearrange them. I've got 16 live patterns on here, stroke scenes, and then I'll change the order around as a last result. And sometimes it can create a completely different tune. I do not change the sounds at all. I don't change the sound design, and I just almost like hopefully reinvent the track, because when you're working on the machine, you get so involved, and it's good to take a step back and change everything around. So really, that's coming to the end of my tips and tricks. The main thing is to enjoy yourself, listen to as much music as you can, and thank you for watching the video.